Hey, what's up? I'm Mediana. This is gonna be one of my first YouTube videos. I was gonna get on here and do like a quick tutorial, but I wanted to start this channel off right. What I wanted to do is instead share my story. And I haven't really told a lot of people my story, but a lot of people do know. And for some of you that don't, I'm publicly putting it on YouTube. So I found out I was adopted when I was 8 years old, and it was hard growing up. I grew up kind of like the only child. I found out because my cousin told me one random day at a family reunion, and on that same day I found out I had an adopted sister that I never knew about. She basically told me that I have a sister, that I'm not the only child. I was confused. I was really confused because I didn't have a sister growing up. I was the only child. But it kind of made sense because my adopted sister was a lot older than me, and she was married and had kids of her own, so of course I wasn't gonna see her. But when I grew up, it kind of messed with me. When I was a teenager, I started getting really depressed about life, if I even mattered, asking myself the questions of why I'm here, what's my purpose, and I felt a little different. I was really creative and imaginary as a kid. I used my imagination a lot. I wanted to be everything from like Power Rangers to superheroes to all that stuff. I wanted to fight crime. But I really honed my my gifts and talents when I turned 12. I picked up my first video camera when I was 12 years old. And shortly after that, I picked up my first photo camera. And I learned how to take photos and process them in a dark room when I was a freshman in high school. So shout out to Walnut High Mustangs, 2005. I used to actually film a lot of my friends skateboarding when I was a kid. And then after that, when I was a teenager, I kind of lost myself in creativity because I didn't know where I come from. And being adopted, I was really confused about being a mistake. I felt like I was a mistake my whole life. I felt like a whoops. Like that wasn't supposed to happen. So I was finding value in creativity and in music. And in the MySpace days, back when I was 15, 16, you all remember MySpace, I was in bands, and we want to get shows, and if we wanted to book shows, we'd have to get our music out there, and if we wanted to get our music out there, we'd have to use MySpace. So I would record our bands in the living room, and I would take photos of our bands, and I would hook up our MySpace, and I learned HTML, and I actually did that for bands. I used to get paid to do MySpace pages for bands, and I would record bands in my living room, and I would create their MySpace pages through HTML and Photoshop. It was like Photoshop 1.0 at the time, like it was barely starting. And then after that, like I had a lot of friends oppose what I did growing up. They were like, John, you really need to quit doing photo and video because it's not really that good. Like it's gonna take you nowhere. You should just get a job. Especially my family, since we're Filipino. I grew up with the expectation of becoming a Filipino like nurse, right? And I definitely not want to be a nurse. I don't want to be a nurse. I know I wasn't called to be a nurse. Shout out to all the Filipino nurses out there, but that wasn't my calling. I was very creative growing up, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to find more value in life because I was adopted, and I was hoping that my life meant more, and I was searching after that through creativity and music. So I decided to go to film school. So right out of high school, I went to film school, and I recorded. These are my tapes. I would film on old school DV tapes, and no one knew what digital filmmaking was back then. It was all analog. It was all on these tapes, and there was no, when DSLR came in the scene and with Canon, they changed the game for me. I wanted to go into filmmaking, and I realized it took a team to produce something incredible, and a lot of my team kind of like ditched me in college, and I was like, man, am I supposed to create this film all by myself? Sometimes I did. I made my own films in college, and they were crap. Like, they sucked. But I was like, man, I should go into photography. So I went to art school for photography. I spent over 6 years in art school. Photography was a passion of mine because I didn't need anyone else. I could go off and go hiking, I could go exploring, I could take photos of my friends. I didn't need anyone else's skill set to take photos. I just needed to rely on my own skill set. So I passionately pursued photography for many years, and that was in my younger days. And now I'm turning 31, and I've been doing photography and filmmaking for over 18 years now. And I had the privilege of working with amazing talent, from musicians at Capitol Records to people like Jessica Simpson and Hank Williams Jr., Cali Swag, all them. And I worked on a lot of production, E-entertainment, and all kinds of productions. I've been able to work on a lot of things while I spent time in the industry and in school. And I decided now, I started my YouTube channel in 2006. And it's 2018, and I haven't published or posted a lot of anything that I've done, but a lot of people in LA, at least, where I grew up and I was raised, they know a lot of my work. And I recently got married about 1.5 years ago to the most incredible woman of my dreams. We've known each other for over 10 years, and she's my best friend. But I feel like now's the time to jump on YouTube. I've worked with a lot of YouTubers like Nikki Philippi, Sean and Benji. These are my close friends that I love, and I love producing stuff for them. I think it's time for me to step out and do stuff for myself. I love working with people. I love working on projects, but I feel like, man, you know what? I really need to come out behind the curtain and just start sharing everything that I'm learning, everything that I have learned in photography and film, from techniques to theories to helping other photographers and filmmakers get better work and how to get more work and how to share their work. But I also want to share daily stuff like vlogs and the travels that I'm on and all the fun stuff that I'm involved with. So I wanted to use this place and platform for that as I continue to share my journey with you guys. I'm really excited to be in YouTube now, and I hope that we could be friends, and I hope that we can grow together in photography and film and fun. And if you're into Disneyland, I go there a lot with my wife. So if you ever want to go, let me know so that we can hang out and vlog about it. So yeah, I want to be your friend. So hands in, come on, bring it in. All right, friendship on 3. 1, 2, 3, friendship. Again, if you want to continue to keep up with my YouTube channel, please subscribe and hit the notifications button so we could continue to be friends on here, so we could learn from each other, and that I could share my tips with you guys. And not tits, tips, all right? I said tips. I'm Filipino, so a lot of my words are gonna come off very Filipino, and you'll probably hear a lot of Filipino stories from me. So anyways, represent Asian culture. I'm all for it. So until then, subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me personally on my journey, all my links are in the description below. And if you want to watch any other videos, I'm sure I'm going to put them up on here somewhere. Talk to you soon. Peace out, y'all.